it's me, Everything Barbie, and today I will be showing you how to make a blanket for your dolls. Now, there's two ways to do this. One, if you know how to sew and have a sewing machine, you can use a sewing machine and a sewing method. But if you don't know how to sew or don't have a sewing machine, the next best option is just using hot glue the same exact way. So I'll be showing you the sewing method first and the hot glue method second. What you'll need for this DIY is a pair of scissors, a hot glue gun, and fabric. And of course, a sewing machine. Now to get started, you need whatever fabric you want to use. It really doesn't matter if it's cotton, stretchy, any polyester t-shirt material, anything works. But I'll be using one of these fabrics because it does look like a blanket. Okay, and I'll be using this fabric, so I can set those ones aside. Now you want to unfold your fabric if it's folded. You just want to, once you get all of your fabric out, end up cutting through the same one. So now it's all out. It looks like a tablecloth. I might actually use this for a tablecloth. Anyway, it looks like it's hemmed on or something. Anyway, so once you have this first thing you'll need to do, and this works for the hot glue and the sewing method, so you can follow my steps even if you don't have a sewing machine. So the first thing you want to do is get all your fabric out and fold it in half. And make sure it's this side up. So the plain side that doesn't have just this side, like this, is perfect. Now, as you can see, it's all even, and it really doesn't matter if it's that even because we are going to be flipping it and it won't matter. So you want to make sure you want to measure with a doll to make sure, but I'm just going to be making this for Barbie. So all I need to do is just, and make sure it's cut on this side so it's connected. So you just want to cut, I'm cutting it here to make sure it's the same. But you want to use either a pin or clips. That was a lot. Now once you cut a little, just make sure nothing falls off, and you want it to stay in the position, so pin it or clip it. Now remember, you want to make it bigger than you want because we are going to be flipping it in the end. Even for people that are using hot glue, we still are going to flip it to make it clean. So now it's like this. It's held in place. The first thing you want to do is follow the same steps. So if you're using hot glue, just you want to go under. You don't have to do this side because it's already connected, and just use hot glue all around here. But make sure there's an opening about 1.5 inches, about this much space for an opening, so you can flip it. And then you'll just hot glue or sew it back together. So once you've done that, so if you're using a sewing machine or sewing, I recommend you use a sewing machine. This would be pretty hard hand sewing. So you just want to do the same as the hot glue, just sew down here, but make sure you have an opening. Leave the clips in. Sorry about the background noise, but you want to backstitch once you get here because you don't want anything bad to happen. So you should have about this much of an opening, even if you're using hot glue. Then just backstitch, or just don't. Just do the gluing method, the same thing. Okay, so now that it's all sewed, you just want to make one hot glue. You just need to get your scissors and cut the thread. Make sure all the thread is cut so you can't see any of it. So now that you have it all sewed or glued, you can take the clips off now. And you just want to flip it inside out. And this is why you backstitch, because it will rip the seams. And you don't want to just end it because then it won't work. And now you just have a ball. Just that. You're wondering, if you don't know, how do I flip it? Well, if you can't use your hands enough, you want to use not a sharp pencil, a marker, not a pencil, because it can rip through the seams since it's sharp. Well, not sharp, but it can rip through stitching, and yeah. And do the same to the other side. That was a bit better than the other side. Okay, now that you've got your blanket all flipped and nice, either sewed or glued. But now you just have a big old opening. What you want to do is, even for people that can sew and doing the sewing method, it's a lot easier just to do hot glue for this part. So while your hot glue gun is heating up, I mean, you can sew this, but it won't look as good and it won't look as seamless. So you just want to tuck this in so it's just like the other ones, just like the blanket, just like this. And then sew that, but you should use a clip or a pin to hold it in place. So let's wait for the hot glue gun to heat up. So once your hot glue gun is heated up, you want to make sure it's all folded. Now, if you have access to an iron, you can use it, but you don't have to. So hold it down on that side so it doesn't lose it, and just put your hot glue there and press down on it. Don't burn yourself. Make sure. Put it down, and now you can take your clip off to glue the excess that you haven't glued where the clip was. Just glue that, and once it's glued, you just want to let it dry. Don't glue it to your table like I almost did. And if there is excess glue, ow, I burnt myself. Anyway, if there is excess glue, you just want to use something to flatten it, like not your finger, because I burnt it. So Make sure there's no gaps and it's seamless so you can't see the glue. And there you go. You have got a doll blanket. So make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Maybe try this for yourself. It is pretty easy, even if you don't have a sewing machine. So, bye guys!